Everybody wanna be bodybuilder, but no one wants these heavy ass weights.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 67 of Buckets of Duckets. I am your host, Chase Myers. I am out here in Seattle, Washington. Every week, I talk to my best friend, the hilarious comedian down in Louisiana. Everybody, give it up for your co-host, the one, Josh Watts.
Good evening, shitheads. That was the Saturday Night Live intro. This is episode 67, which is Horace Grant plus an unlucky number 13. Why are you shaking your head? No, it is 67, right?
It is 67. Yeah, there's a lot.
Don't interrupt my math then, because it was correct.
I'm just gonna take some notes. I'm just gonna take some notes, and we get done.
Dude, if I don't get Horace Grant, in every one of these fucking intros, it doesn't count. What are we here for? What the fuck are we here for? Like and subscribe. Tell some friends. Write a review, you dumb bitches. Write something nice under there, you dicks. Be like, hey, these guys are funny. Tell your friends, hey, watch this podcast I love that they put a lot of time in. Not shitting their pants on TV. On TV.
It's national TV, people.
You still make them radio TV shows?
Yeah, we out there playing TV.
All right.
Okay, yeah, this is what I was laughing at, Josh. First off, you just a little shoulder turn. You're like, that was my SNL thing.
Yeah, I did like I'm getting a hot dog from the guy and they run up on me and they're like, hey, the new feature player. And I'm like, oh, hey,
aren't you on a show right now? Shouldn't you be? Shouldn't you be on that live show?
Right. Why are you getting a hot dog right now? They're doing a dress rehearsal, right?
But yeah, just how great that is for audio. That was what I really enjoyed about that.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you, Chase.
Okay, whoa. Okay. All right.
We're going to get real right here, all right? In the world, in the ducket land, in my brain, there are two classes. And that's the people that watch our podcast or up here. That's the upper echelon. That's your professors, your fucking science wrestlers, your smart people, your bear wranglers, upper class, white collar, right? The people that just get this shit on the podcast. I don't even make a video, like a thumbnail for the audio version of this podcast. I don't even make a thumbnail. The audio version is like whenever your mom used to make jelly and she'd scrape off the extra and you could have what was left. There's some extra pie crust. I don't give two shits about the people that just plug this in while they're sitting at their job doing nothing. Why don't you watch this on YouTube like a fucking grown-up? This is ridiculous, listening to it, you stupid asshole.
What did your mom do to your sandwich? What did she do to the jelly? What was that?
No, I tried to stop that in the middle of that, Chase, because that's like the third 60-year-old reference I've just made. I was going to say, you know how when your mom is making marmalade and there's like a whole bunch left and she scrapes off the foam off the back and you get to eat it? And then you go outside and you listen to Jack Parr on the radio. You remember that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can't even get to the rest of my notes. You're so fucking fired up.
Chase, look, this show has been about a few things since the day one. Number one is God bless America. That's always been the number one point of this show.
Mission statement.
And number two is get a job, get a Rolex, get some scars, and watch this on YouTube, you bitch. Every time. That's tattooed on my back. Tattooed on my back. That's my family crest. That's my family fucking crest.
I got it hanging above my fireplace.
It's on a shield. I take it to the Renaissance Festival, and I show everybody. Well, that's going on right now.
Is it?
Yeah,
I didn't know. When I worked at the Raw Shop, it's a smoke shop for those that don't know. When I worked there in Louisiana, there was one of the fucking hippies I worked with was like, yeah, bro, I don't normally work right now because I'm normally at Ren Fair, and I didn't know that Ren Fair was I didn't know that was like the short. Fucking dude. Renaissance Festival.
That's horrible. And everybody that works at the Raw Shop goes to that Raw Shop just closed. Every smoke shop in town closes down for that week.
But that's what I'm saying. Normally, I would have had the upper hand in that situation, and I could have clowned him for shortening that. but I'm working at a smoke shop, and I'm the one that didn't know the way that
You're the
you know
loser for not going to the
I'm the
Renaissance.
fucking dork, for not knowing about Ren Fair, bro. Like that's the way the conversation went. He's like, dude, Renaissance Festival, bro. Like, bro.
We're dressing up like Star Wars and going to the Renaissance Festival. What the fuck are you doing?
Dude, come
happens. On. So I went to the last time I went to the Renaissance Festival. The last time I went to the Renaissance Festival was in 2007 when my wife told me that she wanted a divorce. So not this one. Not this one, another one. Which was redundant. Like, I had already caught her with her new guy. So, like, we didn't need to go to the Renaissance Festival for you to tell me that you wanted a divorce. Like, you were fucking a fat guy in our living room. I saw it. I get it.
Dang, bro.
Like, it's very... Anyway, we're getting way into shit.
She had to take your marriage and the Renaissance Festival from you? Why she had to ruin the Renaissance Festival?
No, I'll tell you what she did. Here's what she did.
Tell me what she did. What did she do?
Here's what she did. That conniving, backstabbing Jezebel took me to the Renaissance Festival and paid $25 to let me feed some rotten chicken to a snow tiger, and then told me she wanted a divorce because how the fuck I'm going to be mad when I forgot to feed a tiger? Who's going to be mad then? I don't give a shit. She was like, I want a divorce. I was like, I don't fucking care. You could jump in this tiger's mouth right now. Who gives a shit? I pet this tiger. I gave him chicken. He's my friend for life now. That's all I care about. $25, dude. You take some tongs and you grab some rotten chicken and you walk up to a chain link fence that you know is barely stuck into the wet sand right here. And you stick the tongs through the rotten chicken in this, I'm guessing 3-ton tiger. I don't know how big tigers are. Probably 3 tons.
At least 3 tons. At least.
Easily a school bus size snow tiger comes over and he stands up on the fence and just leans in and eats the rotten chicken out of my hands. And the dude was like, that was $25. And when the second the tiger takes the chicken, he like pushes you away from get the fuck out of here now. You got to go. But worth every penny. I've done it like 3 times.
That's like whenever you're standing in line to like take pictures of somebody famous or whatever like that. It's like take the picture and keep moving. No, we're not having a moment. All right, get fuck. Yeah. I'll autograph those pictures over there. You can grab one on your way out. All right, keep moving.
I did go back one year with Michelle, and they didn't have the tiger there anymore. He got free and ate some people or something, I guess. I don't know. But I did. She told me there was a guy that she went to high school with that does the fight demonstrations at the Renaissance Festival. And I want that dude to be my sensei, but he won't answer my Facebook messages. They do like the fake. It's not fake. As a pro wrestling fan,
it's
I hate
scripted.
the word fake. It's
scripted. God damn.
They do scripted fights at the Renaissance Festival. And they're fucking flipping and kicking. And like back in my day, they didn't do as much flipping and kicking. So I don't respect that part of it. But,
right.
They're putting in the work.
And
he does like the whole fucking sword thing. And I went to go tell him like, hey, awesome job. And a dude slammed a sword down and it didn't cut his thumb off, but it pulled a part of his glove up and I thought his thumb came off.
Yeah.
And as I was walking up there, a cool job, I saw that and went, and just left. Nah, I don't know.
Actually, you should quit this job. Now that I thought about it, you should probably quit the job. Did Siri just pop up? Is that no?
I adjusted my headphones, and I guess I had YouTube playing earlier, and when I adjusted them, it unpaused some fucking YouTube video I was watching in my ears.
Oh, I didn't hear it. No,
like I'm not trying to do a goddamn show. I don't know why I thought you would hear it. I have no idea what made me think that you would hear it. Yeah, who knows? I don't know how science works.
Dude, I couldn't explain it to you.
I'm fired up.
What type of video? What type of video you got pulled up?
Chase, I wanted to talk about this last week. I've been watching a lot.
What you getting into?
I've been watching a lot of pickup artist stuff on YouTube.
Shut your mouth.
I swear to God. I didn't know it was
Michelle taking you to the Ren Fair? Is that?
I fucking wish. I've been watching pickup artist videos on YouTube. Did you ever watch the VH1 show, Mr. E or whatever it was back in the day? You were like 12 probably.
I rolled my eyes at all of that. Like I didn't really like. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to imply that you were like, you're like
please don't. Please don't make people think that I'm watching it sincerely. It would be a problem. For me.
I know that he's your god, but I found other things for me. That's all I'm saying.
The one I've been watching is it's like a 55, 65-year-old weirdo who has like this giant pink mohawk, and he says that he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most makeouts. And like, I don't know, when you're 65 and bragging about makeouts, it's so. But he was being filmed. This video was by Vice, and Vice doesn't give a shit about making him look good. So they're showing every interaction where he's just stopping people on the street, and he's like, "Hey, are we having a moment?" And they're like, "No, I have mace. Get away from me." And it's so great to see him just like grab people and try to talk to them. And then he's teaching other people, so you get to see shy people build up the confidence to try to be a douchebag to strangers, and then they get shut down. I love it. I love it so much. I watch it in shame. I have another screen of porn pulled up, so if my wife walks in, I can just click it over real quick. So
right,
she doesn't
that's
know.
way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
dude,
pickup artist porn, but
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, but at least there's dicks in it, so she knows, like, oh, that's why he's watching it.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That's what my husband's doing.
Father of my children. There we go.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I've never been like I don't that's such a I mean, I feel like how do I want to say this? What type of person just stops somebody in the road and like
These
shoots
type of
I've
people.
never I've never been like that aggressive type dude. Like I was at that Halloween party that I talked about on the last episode or whatever, and one of the girls there, her boyfriend was like hitting on other girls at the party, like with her there, just like hitting on her friends and shit like that. And I'm like, dude, I would never have the ball. That would have never crossed my mind to be like,
No.
I bet I could fuck. Yeah, I bet I could do this. Like, I bet I could keep my girlfriend not mad at me over there. And I could convince one of her best friends to fuck me over here. I bet.
And not tell, and it'll never cross.
And they won't. I bet they'll never come together.
It'll never
and
come
talk
up.
about. Yeah. Immediately.
Why would they ever
Like,
talk about it?
Yeah, dude, that's just wild. I just don't. I mean, I guess you don't want to have that. That's like being a piece of shit. So it's not like I'm like, man, I don't know why I'm not like trying to fuck everybody.
Right. It's not like it's not normal. Like I see a pretty girl in a bar or a good looking dude and I want to go talk to him across the bar after we made eyes. It's like they're literally reaching their arms out and trying to stop people from walking down the street with their friends. And then like one of the guys he's a rock singer. So his thing is, did you know I'm a singer? And then he goes, and holds it for like, I mean, any amount of time to do that in a stranger's face is too long, but he holds it and makes eye contact with them the whole time and then doesn't understand why they all, oh man. I love it. I love watching it. I love it. I've never been, I've never been too nervous to talk to people, but to watch, but that's because whenever I would talk to somebody, it would be like, oh, they looked at me too. And there's like some kind of, I'm not just walking over and grabbing and going, hey, in their face. It's weird.
It's rude.
Oh, for sure it's rude.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Imagine
yeah.
you're on your way somewhere, like you got shit to do that day, and some dude just stops you, goes, hey, wah! And just goes at it, and you're like, oh, fuck, I guess I'm gonna cancel my dentist appointment because I gotta suck your dick right now. Okay? Jesus Christ. I was on my way to pick my child up from soccer practice, but you're so damn interesting. That all must stop now. Are we having a moment? I believe we are.
We're about to have a bunch of them. And there's
a bunch of moments.
The new versions are the guys that talk into their iPhones like this. That like it's a microphone. This is the new version of them. And they're on the street and they'll put their arm around like, how many dudes have you made out with? And then they'll stick their phone in their face and like, oh no, like 12. And then the guy's like, why don't we make it 14? And like, it's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And it never works.
What got you? What was the starting point on this?
Oh, Chase, I took some mushrooms, right?
All right. I'm with you.
I found an old Dr. Seuss hat that I used to have in the 90s.
Okay. I got all the information. I can't say I understand where it's going, but I hear. Okay.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, even when I tell you where it's going, it doesn't make sense. And I saw the Cat in the Hat, And in 1995 or 6, they were cool to have. And I had given one to Michelle to try to impress her. Because when I was 16, I was like, this is what a pickup artist does. Here's a smelly cat in the hat.
I'll show you a pickup artist.
I got a street fair somewhere. And here's my balls. Let's go.
How about that? I've been playing skee ball all day.
And Chase, I saw this hat. And I was on a lot of mushrooms. I was really happy and feeling good. And I looked at this hat and I said, hey, whatever happened to that guy, Mr. E, that did the pickup artist show on VH1? Because one of my favorite things to joke about him was he looked like he was wearing one of the cat in the hat because it was a big old hat. And his name was Mr. E, which is also mystery, right?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
dude.
fuck. Yeah, dude.
It was there the whole time.
20 years later before I caught it. No shit.
No shit.
And I saw that and I was like, I wonder what happened to that guy. And then a quick Google search, and I'm down a 14-hour rabbit hole of watching pickup artist videos. My fucking computer died. That's how I stopped. It wasn't, I was like, oh, that's enough of this today. I should close this and go be
No, your computer tapped out.
My computer's like, I'm done, dude.
I've had enough.
Battery went from 37 to 0. The computer's like, I'm done. The battery went from 37 instead of 0. It was a battery with a little noose around its neck, and it kicked the stool out from under itself. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
Damn. And then I'd open my computer, and then one of them would be up that I'd been watching. I'm like, well, I gotta finish it. I gotta see how this ends. One of them, they interview a guy, and a girl he had brought home the night before comes out of the room, and he's like, oh yeah, I hooked up with her last night. And she just sits on the chair and like could not look more disappointed in herself and her choices. I just
well, also, I mean, how about having a little sleepover with somebody for the first time, and then when you come out the room, it's a fucking intervio.
Yeah,
there's a
Vice
goddamn
News
camera there. Vice News is there. Go,
hey, so
who's
you
this
fucked
broad?
this weirdo last night? This fucking weirdo's doing card tricks over here in a top hat. You fucked him?
Huh?
But she, to her
How
credit,
often do you do this?
to her credit, instead of running and hiding in the room and closing the door like anybody would, she came and sat on the chair and started talking. And then as they're being interviewed, when they're done with their interview, the screen goes black and then just white text comes up that says, upon further investigation, the girl was a prostitute he paid to sit there during the interview. But they made sure they said a prostitute he paid to only sit for the interview. Not like he did. Like he got it. He got it, right?
He couldn't even pick up this prostitute.
And they just showed them failing so many times.
He tried to pay for sex, and she was like, what if I just sit next to you?
What if I just tell people we did it?
What if we do like Easy A, and we just both jump on the bed and groan for a little bit while your friends stand outside? How about that?
Holy fuck. And I mean, there is none of them are happy videos, but boy, I know you couldn't watch it because I've seen you at open mics and how uncomfortable you get when people are struggling just with life in general. And me personally, I think it gives me power. I think that's why I look young. Like I'm actually 57, but I look 54, 53, easy. Because I just feed off of the cringe and just when people are struggling with life and it's got them down. I'm just there sucking up all that hope that they have in their life for a better life. I'm just eating it up.
Just taking it from them.
My fucking headphones are being weird, so I'm going to close them out real quick.
Okay.
Oh, if you listen to this, I guess you're fucked, huh?
Take this beat.
Oh. Hey, if you unhook your headphones, it just plays out of the speaker.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me, Apple, huh? Y'all doing some shit right.
So you're back. You can hear me, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Cool. So what was the other one? What was the other thing for back then that was like, I mean, they had like the whole negging thing. What was that called? What was
that? That's from that show.
Okay, but wasn't there like a book or
Peacocking.
something like that?
Yeah, it was Mr. E's book, The Pickup Artist.
Okay, but for some reason I thought.
I'm sure there's six
different name. Yeah,
there's 6 million of others.
No. I'm just saying. I thought there was like a specific name to the book, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
Jason, I'm
Maybe
all about
confusing
it.
it.
Look,
Maybe I'm confusing it with The Secret. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that. Isn't that what it is? Where if you like put it out in the world and harass a woman,
oh
you
God, this
you
dude's
might
name
get her to
is
sit next to you on Vice.
Eric von Markovic. Good God. Let's see. He got a TV show.
My gosh.
He got a TV show because yeah, he got a TV show because of his book called The Game,
The Game. Okay, yeah, that is what I was thinking. The Game.
where he talks about peacocking, where you dress like an asshole so people look at you, and negging. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
He
remember
used to take-
every sitcom.
Oh, man.
Every sitcom from that time did an episode like taking shots at that. Like so, like whoever their wacky character was wore a crazy hat and said it's like a thing. Then somebody just said a bunch of really mean things to women on some other episode of something and made the girl cry, and then that would be like the joke of like somebody not knowing how to neg or whatever.
I will tell.
Yeah.
I've never understood how that. I don't understand how that's supposed to work, but I do Chase. Oh, America's gonna judge me. I have the mystery show on CDs that I got burned because I couldn't find it streaming anywhere. I will gladly
When?
Not recent, like 2015, right before you had just moved. So since you've moved, I got my brother to burn them all for me.
If I would have known, if I had known me leaving, if I had known me leaving, I'd let you to burning Mr. E shows.
But he used to take all these fucking dorks out to the clubs, and then they would have to like missions where they'd have to try to hook up with girls. But then they would bring the girls out to this giant bus with 20 other dudes is going back to this house. And the girl's like, oh, yeah, I guess I'll get in this van with your 20 friends. And it's a great show. I mean, it's really TV at its finest.
Fantastic show. Could not recommend enough.
Can we talk about another show I've been watching so I feel a little bit better about just who I am and just what I got going on?
Okay, yeah. I don't know what that was about, but yeah.
I'm really into the mystery thing, and I've said too much about it. I feel like, but so I took your advice and I started watching Last Dance, and I watched 30 minutes of it, and then I switched over to the CNN late night show about the series about late night TV.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, man! It's great. It's fucking great. I love it. Do you know you've read all the books and know all about the late night thing?
Everything.
Jack Parr, when he left for 6 months, just walked off the stage and came back and said, like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted.
He quit on some like. Well, no. I mean, you were right. I mean, but he quit on some like trying to stand up for his values type thing, and he was like, if this is not an honest way to make a living, I'm gonna go find a better way to make a living than parading myself up here every week. He quits the show. And
do you know what the word was? Do you know what?
And he comes back, and then he's like, turns out there's not a better way. There's not a better way to make a living. That's amazing. Like, that's an amazing show business story.
Like a 6 or 7 month time span, and
I don't even think it was that long. I think it might have been even shorter than that. Yeah,
it was 7 months. Yeah. I just watched the show. They said it was 7 months. All right, but and he just picks it up. Oh god damn it! It's so funny. I died so hard. He left. Do you know the word they edited out of his joke that made him so mad?
Remind me. I've heard. But...
water closet.
No, I guess I didn't know that.
He told a joke about a woman going to the water closet. I think he said WC, which is water closet, which is bathroom. And they edited it out because you can't tell a joke about a woman in a bathroom. What is she doing in there? Taking a shit? Come on, you can't.
Gross.
Women didn't shit until 1988. Nobody likes to talk about that. Didn't shit until 1988. We had a vote. Not we. I wasn't there. I wouldn't have voted for it. But they had a vote, and they gave women buttholes in 1988, and they started shitting. But before that, nothing.
That's a year before me. I didn't even know. This is what's crazy. All I've known is a world full of women with buttholes. Yeah.
It was a dark day back then.
I didn't even know. Like, that's how privileged I've been. You know? That's my technology. Yeah, like kids today don't know without social media and phones and stuff. I've just always had women buttholes in my life.
It's good for you though.
I mean,
you've come up in a stable house. You got women. You just grew up with women who had buttholes. That's a good thing.
Yeah, they just had it. I totally take it for granted. Don't even think about that they couldn't have it. But some people. Jack Parr never saw a woman's butthole.
Not once in his life.
Not once in his life. He tried to talk about it. He lost his fucking job.
Yeah. If you had told somebody in 1950 that you could show them a picture of a woman's asshole, they'd have punched you in the stomach and called you a Nancy, because what else do you have? A picture of a unicorn or Bigfoot? Because that's how much they believe like it was equal to. Thank God Mr. E came along and showed us that every woman has a butthole.
Set us straight, man. Set us straight, man.
Thanks, Eric von Vakovich.
Vakovic. Thank you, sir. Yeah, man, I love that time. I at one point was going to try to make like a Carson video.
I remember
about all the stuff I love. I've talked about it a couple times on the show. I just really like that era of showbiz. There was something to there being only like 4 channels, you know? Mm-hmm. And so the whole, and you'll even see this like if you watch, I'm kind of bouncing around here, but if you watch even like 1990s stand-up comedy or whatever, you'll notice a lot of comics are doing jokes about commercials.
Yeah.
And, everybody knows the commercial they're talking about because there's not as many channels. And even then, there was like cable. There was like 60 channels or something like that. But so you go way back when, and there's 4 channels. It's like the whole nation, like you know, it's everybody's getting the same pulse. And so to think that like, you know, Johnny Carson was getting, you know, 25 plus million people every night of the week. He's doing a show 4 or 5 nights a week. And
then those people told everybody that the few that didn't
that's what you talked about.
Yeah.
That was the water cooler thing. Like that was what you talked about. Yeah. And then it was also cool, like just a different time of show business where like, you know, now all those shows are like, well, this dude has a movie coming out. He has a book coming out. They have whatever. Tell me about the book. It's a great book. Tell me about the movie. Here's a clip, whatever. Let's play beer pong or whatever Jimmy Fallon's doing. Or get in this car. Let's sing your favorite tunes or, you know, whatever. I
hope you listen to this, James Corden.
So, yeah,
if you're on the audio version of the podcast, you're gonna have to subscribe to our YouTube channel to know what I just did with my finger towards James Corden.
You'll never guess.
You'll never figure it out.
You'll never fucking guess.
You watched 67 episodes of this show, or you audio fucks have listened to 67 episodes of this show. You'll never figure
this out. Podcast. What the fuck are y'all doing listening to a podcast? Hold on. So the thing that I liked about that time was that, like, you know, it wouldn't just be people promoting stuff. It would just literally be like, you know, Johnny's friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this here's, you know, that it would just be a comedian that would sit on the couch and fucking just have fun with Johnny Carson for a little bit. They would just talk and tell us, you know, I got this story. Bam, that, you know, there's nothing to promote. It's just here's fucking, you know.
Johnny Carson holds up today. I have a nostalgia for Johnny Carson because I used to always pretend like I was having nightmares so I could go in. My dad had a TV in their bedroom. This is in the 80s and 90s. Had a little TV in his closet that he could see from his bed. And the only thing that ever played on that TV was Carson. So he could watch Carson and fall asleep. And I used to pretend like I was having a nightmare so I could go lay in the bed and watch Carson with him. And he thought that was the funniest show ever. And so I always thought, I just think Carson's funny because of that. But I've been
he's
listening
funny,
to it holds up. He holds up,
yeah.
Man. The way he cuts to the camera and just hilarious.
Well, monologues are now just the way he did them. Like that's the thing. Like that, it's one of those things where you don't realize that, like, oh, it all kind of stems from him. Because I mean, dude, he hosted the Tonight Show from fucking 1961 to 1992 or whatever it was. Like it's 31 years. Like, man, and so I don't think monologues looked that way in the 50s. Like I don't even know if that was a thing to come out and tell local or to tell topical jokes of what's going on in the news for 5 to 10 minutes before you start your show. You know, like that's not.
I think they say he was the first. I think they say that
format is I mean, that format is so specific to him. I mean, it is true. They definitely fit the format of monologue. Here's a little sketch. Guest musician. You know,
the funniest thing to me about all of that was though that at like 11 o'clock, TVs just turned off. Like a signal just went blank, and that was it. And then one day somebody was like, "Hey, what if we didn't just turn it off? Like, what if we just put something on instead of nothing?" And everybody's like, "Nah, it's dumb." And then just exploded. It's a really interesting thing to watch and to get into and to see comedians. There's a comic on there I've never heard of, never seen, and he talked about killing it on Carson and like gets emotional and crying because he didn't do much else with his career, he says, but he did so good. Carson invited him to the couch. And that's like a huge, and he got emotional now, talking about it now. And I don't think that happens much anymore.
No, like I mean, there's not a thing like that. Like,
I got 6 million views on TikTok.
Well, okay. So yeah, that's a whole different lane. That's true. I'm still thinking of it in like somewhat of a traditional way. Of now, it's like
I'm asking. I guess.
Yeah. Now it's like accumulate. Now it's you go on Conan and that doesn't make you famous, but you did Conan and then you did something on Comedy Central, whatever little thing they got, and then you did this little thing here and that, and then somehow amongst all of that, then eventually you've kind of got it. Whereas then was like literally a fucking one shot.
That was it.
You could go in and make your career. Drew Carey made his career off of it. There's like Jerry Seinfeld made his career off of it. There's all these people that had their oh no, I was about to give Ray Romano actually made his career off Letterman. I was about to, but like all these comics had Elaine Boozler.
Elaine Boozler talks about the night she did her stand-up set on Carson. She couldn't afford a sandwich to eat before she went on, before she got there. She was so broke, and after Carson, she bought a car and moved into a new apartment just because she was like after Carson, the calls never stopped. They just because Carson gave her his.
There's 4 channels, and nothing at that time is more entertaining than the Tonight Show. So if you go on the Tonight Show, you've got like literally sometimes like I've read stuff and seen stuff like where they talk about like the market share. Like Carson would have like 40% of America watching.
Of America, that's so crazy.
Like, of all people in America watching TV right now, like 40% of them would be watching his show at given points. That was the idea that I wanted to do with that YouTube thing, and I still might. I might pick it back up. It was
so really good. The clip you showed me was really good.
I get all excited on projects like that, and then I'll just give up on them, or I'll be too wanted to be like perfectionist and shit like that. But the idea was I wanted to go through comics either making their first appearance on the Tonight Show or their breakthrough moment on Tonight Show, and just kind of like just show those videos and talk about those moments and what it did for their career and stuff like that. And make little like videos and play some of the sets and stuff like that. But,
I'd love to help you with that. I'd love to help you.
Yeah, I need to get back to doing something like that.
I'd like to help you with that.
Travis is he's scheming for. No, I'm just saying. I'm just talking about all the things. I always got a bunch of plates spinning, man. And Travis we're about to try to get this other thing going with all the brewery shows and stuff, and we got 2 other comics that we do a lot of stuff with. Vanessa that you did Funny Sad with, and
yeah, she's nice.
And our friend Aaron Engel, and we wanted to do a bunch of sketches and stuff. Aaron was in the truck butthole sketch, and so just trying to do all that type of stuff, do some more sketches. We're trying to like tour together at some point. And I got all these things that I want to do, and one of them is tell everybody how great Johnny Carson is. Like they need to hear it from me. I didn't know that Johnny Carson was great until this kid that never watched Johnny Carson live told me all about it.
You motherfuckers. Michelle had a really good idea that I wanted to tell you about off of the show, but I just brought it up anyway. Let's pitch live, dude. We're getting ducats made, like doubloons with the BOD logo, and then we can give people ducats with our website and logo on it instead of business cards.
Okay.
I've matched the color to our colors and a rainbow of other colors, but you can put anything on it that you want. You can pick the whatever, but the BOD, and then we can actually give people ducats, and I thought that was pretty cool. I'm trying to get those made. I figured that'd stand out more in a business card. If you're like, hey, listen to my podcast, and if you're heckling, I can fucking whiz that motherfucker into the crowd.
I'll sling this ducat right at your head.
But I think that would be really cool. I didn't need to talk about that on the show, but now
No, I like it. Everybody knows now.
I don't know what this. I don't know why I was like. Now vote on the poll that's not there.
You did it. I did shows in Boise this past weekend, and I had the host. First, hey, what do you want me to bring you up as? And I'm like, I got a podcast called Buckets of Duckets. And he's like,
Fuck yeah.
And every now and then, people have never heard that combination of words. They don't know, and they're like, "What buckets? What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, good luck, motherfucker. You better get it right." And I literally
shit
told
on you
him
for my whole set.
I literally told him I was joking around with him, but I was kind of being serious. I was like, I'm not going on stage till you get it right. You say Buckets of Duckets. Don't you back off of Buckets of Duckets. And then he was like, you know what? He was like, I'm going to say it whenever I introduce Travis too. And I was like, you fucking better. And so he introduced me, a co-host Buckets of Duckets, do a set. And then after he was like, this next comedian has been mentioned on Chase's podcast, Buckets of Duckets. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for
Good. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Also, want to say that's the only funny thing that dude did that night. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You think I'm gonna be nice to you just because you plug my shit? No. Man.
I got brought up at an open mic. I just want to tell you I got a weird brought up story at a mic I did this past week. A guy I met at this mic right before he went to bring me up. Daryl, who runs the bar, was trying to bring me up before another comic, and so he was like, "This guy's my best friend. He helped me talk me into buying this bar. We're running a big show together." And there's like just some asshole standing there that has to go before me. And so then the guy's like, "Oh, this isn't me." Oh, and then I had to go on stage and be like, "No, it's this guy." And then I brought that guy up. And so this comic. Hey,
Hold on. Can we go back to that right quick? So,
oh yeah,
he accidentally brings you up, and you went on stage and just brought up who was supposed to go up.
Yeah, because I'm doing 20 minutes, and this is a guy who's like, it's his second time, so I don't want to. He's got his family right here. I don't want to do 20 minutes and then have him go do 4. So
no, I got you.
This guy.
That's not a normal thing. That's all. It's just you blew by it. Like that's not a
Yeah, all right. It was a weird situation, and I was standing there. I was like, no. This guy is this guy. Bring him up, and he still brought me up. So then after a comic, a guy at the mic just came up to me and goes, "Hey, I'm going to bring you up. Just go with it." And then went on stage, and I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker." Because I'm not. I'll tell you right now, I'm not going with it. If I don't like it, I don't know this dude. I've seen him standing at this mic for 15 minutes, and he's like, "Just go with it." Like, he could fucking say anything he wants, and I'm supposed to go with it? And then he just went up and talked about how much he loves me and how great I am, and like making fun of Daryl giving me a good intro. And then he did the pull because he had to read my name after talking for 10 minutes about how great I am and how much he loves me. Then he had to read my name. Yeah, it's hilarious stuff. But he just go with it. And he could have said any fucking thing. Anyway, that was the only funny thing he did that night. It wasn't funny. So go. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, he was just bad. He's just
Boise, Idaho was bad at comedy?
Yeah, he's just bad, bro. He's just bad.
Did you know him before this?
No, never met him. Me and Travis are kind of convinced that maybe we like, is he real? I don't know if he's real. Like, I think we might have imagined that he was actually there. Like, I think we thought the show was bad because he went up and bombed for 20 minutes before us. But really, it might just be because the audience was sitting there quietly for 20 minutes. Because I don't know.
Just waiting on the show to start.
He was like, first off, just sweaty.
A host off the top doing 20 minutes is always a good sign. It's always good.
It's good.
It's how you start a show.
Me and Travis are doing like 35 apiece. Like, we're co-headlining.
Host 5 minutes less than headliner. Everybody knows that. That's how you open a show.
So, he's just road hack, man. And it's, he's like, he's in the green room and he's just immediately trying to like stay on the same level. So he's like, "Yeah, I just got back from St. Louis." And it's like, "Okay, what were you doing in St. Louis?" And it's like,
visiting my mom.
Yeah. Some little bar gig or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, cool, you flew in?" "Nah, I drove." I'm like, "You just drove here from St. Louis from doing such a..." Yeah. And it's like, it just,
I thought you work with the agent. And like, I didn't think that you ran into those people. I didn't think you were on those people's show anymore.
Every now and then I do, and that's why I'm acting like such an asshole right now and fucking blowing him up about it.
Well, it's
But
just funny that you went from Seattle to fucking Boise to do a not good show.
No, it was a good show. He
Oh.
wasn't good.
And he's
Mitch,
is he the regular host of it?
I guess so. That was kind of the thing we were trying to figure out. Is that
Is his name
he's
Doug
definitely-
Caney?
He was no. I would have said it. I'd have said his name immediately if it was Doug Caney. He's a Doug Caney type. Does that help? Is that
As soon as you described him, I knew that's who I pictured.
that actually
immediately in
is
my head.
exactly what I'm talking about. It just every now and then these comics, people will probably not understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh,
every
yeah,
now and then
just-
there's
yeah.
these
Mhm.
comics. Every now and then there's these comics that they're gonna make it as a comedian and they just kind of drive around the country doing the worst road gigs for $40 a show.
They
and you're
close
like, how-
every open mic that you
Yeah,
in
you're
your
kind
town.
of like, how are you alive? Like, how is that a life to live? Also, like,
just drive around to
times, like,
open mics, for
living in
40
their
years.
car is like involved and stuff like that. And so this was one. Of
Or
those
they'll ask
dudes-
to stay at your house until their next gig, and then they end up staying way too fucking long, and they're weird. They make you uncomfortable, and you need to get them out of your
Did
fucking
he stay
house.
at your house? Did he
No,
stay
he
at your
tried.
house?
He tried.
Oh, okay.
He asked, and I was not cool with that. We can
But
edit
yeah, it
his
was
name
one.
out.
It was one of those dudes. I don't. Who gives a
As
shit?
soon as you said
Uh,
that, I was like, I know exactly who you're talking about. The
That
weirdos
is exactly who. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Is that type of.
They're
dude.
not good
Yeah,
enough
just-
to make a living, but they're good enough to stick around for 40 years at open mics. Yeah.
Well, they will Facebook message and email bookers and showrunners and stuff. Like they just will do it. And it turns out like sometimes all
You
you
can
gotta
get
do is
gigs like
ask
that?
for work. Yeah. It turns out if you ask for work, you can get it. And those dudes are
I
like
blew somebody's mind when they asked me how I opened for Emo Phillips. I said, I asked the guy who booked the show, I was like, holy fuck, can I open for Emo Phillips? And he was like, oh yeah, nobody's actually asked me to do the show. Because everybody assumes it's booked, so nobody asks. Fucking ask. Just not me. Don't ask me, Gavin Richard. Don't ask me another fucking thing. I'm not putting you on anything. Don't ask me.
Yeah. No, ask the person who books the show. Yeah, do that. Yeah, but it was cool though, man, because me and Travis just got to go out there and flex, and it was like, we were co-headlining it, and it was one of those rooms that's I gotta get out of the habit of just shitting on comics like that. He's got so little, and
So you don't need to be the person to give him any more. That's the way you look at that.
right. But the venue was like it was
If you're look, no. We don't need to brush over this, Chase. If
Okay,
a
yeah,
peasant, if a peasant is hungry for food, he doesn't go to the fucking king's bedroom and jump up in his bed and say, "Give me some crumbs of something." He works in the kitchen and works his way up before the king even notices him. You don't bow your crown to anybody, king. Don't bow your crown, all right? You fucking stay up, all right?
So by the way,
I feel-
so the way the booking worked was like me and Travis were booked through like the manager and all that, like that. But then it's like the venue's gonna have their host or whatever. Like
That's-
it's,
all right.
that's how
what I
that
was
happens.
asking. That's what I was asking.
But yeah, so it was at this place called Watson Mystery Cafe, and their whole thing is they do like murder mystery shows.
Fuck
and
yes.
stuff like
Fuck
that.
yes.
And they're just starting to do stand-up shows there. So the venue was perfect. Like it was great.
Not fuck
and,
stand
like,
up.
because they do the murder mystery stuff. There's like trap doors everywhere and everything. So like our green room is like behind a picture and shit. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's the cool
But yeah,
show,
that's what
or
they
did
do.
you get to see?
That's what they. No, I
Did
didn't
you
get
see
to
a
see. I
murder
mean,
show?
it was our show, so it was
Oh
Chase
yeah, you
Mark's
were there
show,
for the weekend.
so-
I didn't know if they had another.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, I was just there. I was there for that night. We did this thing where we went to Spokane Comedy Club on Friday and did guest spots there for Brad Upton, who is Dry Bar Comedy's king and is a really great comic. Like he's comic out here. He's like in his 60s. He used to open for Joan Rivers. He's like, I love watching this man because he's such a pro, but he's also like not just doing his same act from 20 years ago. Like he's constantly updating it. I even heard like he has this one bit this kind of blew my mind, and it shouldn't have, but it just shows what type of comic it is. He had this bit where he would talk about how you get your kids to stop playing their music on the radio and stuff like that as you sing along with it. And he used to do all these songs, and now those songs are old and they kind of, like they don't really, like they were current at the time he wrote it. And when I watched him on Friday, He had updated it today. He's got like Drake songs in there and shit.
Fuck
He had
yeah.
all this stuff, and I was like, man, I know so many old hacks that wouldn't do that. Like they would just whatever songs they wrote for originally or what they would keep. And so it was really fucking dope seeing him. I love Brad Upton, man, and so we got to do guest sets for that. And the thought was, we were like, well, Boise's like 8 hours away. Spokane is like 4 hours away. We'll drive to Spokane, do guest sets, and then we'll stay at one of Travis's friend's house. That'll cut into the drive the next day. Well, it turns out Spokane's not really on the way to fucking Boise. So, so yeah, that math works out in theory, but did we fucking look at a map at all? Like, just because one place is 4 hours and one place is 8 hours, doesn't mean if I drive the 4 hours and cut into these 8 hours. So we drive 4 hours to do guest spots, which you don't get paid
Then
for.
12
It was not,
to...
and then we ended up driving
12.
7 hours to Boise. It was 8 hours from our house. We drove 4 hours to drive 7 hours.
Fuck.
Yeah, it just get to the show out of our mind. Like Travis drove on show day. I drove the way back, but so Travis is tough because I hate driving like more than like 4 or 5 hours on the day that I have a show.
Yeah.
Because you're just so out of your mind. You're so just fucking. Your body all kind of hurts and shit, and you got just like weird like car brain and stuff. Yeah, you haven't like talked to anybody or anything like that.
Nope, it's just been weirdness in the car.
He just been sitting in the car, or whatever. Yeah, it's but yeah, we did that, and so yeah, I had a good weekend, man, because it was just Spokane Comedy Club is always packed out. I'm headlining it next month. Me and Travis are going to co-headline it. It's the first time I've got to headline one of their comedy clubs. So I'm really fucking pumped about that. They gave us a Sunday. They're gonna give you boy a shot. They're gonna give you Sunday, see what you can do. Let's see.
That's all you need, bro. All you need to do is get your fucking foot in the door. I tried to say bro, and I think it came out boo. So when you hear the edit drop out,
hello, boo.
It's because it sounded like I called you boo.
Look here, boo boo.
I've been hitting up the mics. I'm doing that Lake Charles show at Crying Eagle Brewery this weekend, November 19th.
The 20th? No, 19th, my bad.
19th. And then the 20th, I'm hosting our North Shore Comedy Show with me hosting Howard Hall, Mike Honore, and Morgan Wright. You come out and get your dick wet and your pussy's hard at that one. That's going to be, I can't fucking wait. So I've been hitting up the mics. The story, the neighborhood watch about putting dog shit in my neighbor's hand.
You saw that on stage?
Dude, it ends up being the best. It's been great. Every time I've done it, it's done really, really well. I have to explain to every comic after that it is a real story. It's a true story. Because you can't say that on stage that it's a true story because people just won't believe you. But when you come off, every comic is like, did that really happen? Oh, yeah. And then they look at you a little bit differently.
Yeah. What'd you think? I sat down and dreamt that up? No, man.
Nope. But I've been brushing it. I've been brushing some rust off. It feels really fucking good to get back on stage and to go to shows, to go to open mics and be better than a lot of, or most of, or every comic on the show is a nice feeling that I haven't felt in a couple of years. So it was really good to go up and just be like, oh, this is why I'm doing 15 and you're doing 4. It's just been nice. It's been nice to flex a little bit. I fucking missed comedy, man. I've missed going on stage and yelling at people. I got my booster, but I'm still a little, the booster fucked me, man.
What does that mean? Made you sick? Got you sick?
Yeah. I was, today it's been like, I don't know, more than 2 weeks. And today is one of the first times I'm not sore. Like my whole body has been muscle soreness.
Damn, really?
Yeah. I've been really, really, really tired, grumpy, like just not, it's been rough. It kicked the shit out of me. And then, the reason this is 67 part 2 is my gross little kid's Zoe got a stomach bug. And she puked on the couch. She pukes in our bed. She just everywhere. And it's got to be so much that I was just like, I don't want to clean it. Just leave it there. Just keep puking right there. It doesn't matter. Just fucking.
You're just gonna puke again.
You're just gonna puke again.
That's the puke corner, okay? Can we at least just establish a corner and stick to it?
Have you ever? I have to change a king size bed with 2 dogs and a toddler asleep in it and a puking one, and get her off the bed and then change it underneath Henry without waking him up. It's been a nightmare. And she told me the other day, she has not been feeling good, and it's been she lifted her leg up to fart, and she was really ready to laugh at it, and it was her first experience with a shark, and
Oh no.
She was so upset.
And it's tough when you're cocky about it before. Whenever you're,
She was so cocky about it. She called her by his stitch. Hey! I lifted her leg up and then it was horrible. So the last episode, we recorded a whole episode. One day we'll do a Patreon. You can see it, I guess. And there's like the last 20 minutes of it. I guess I was so tired and sleep deprived and puke cleaned that I didn't think that you out there in Ducket Land would realize that the last 20 minutes of the show was me standing up like this, trying not to shit myself, because it came close several times, and I'm just standing for 20 minutes, red in the face, shaking. Like nobody knows I'm about to shit my pants. This is fine. And I'll be honest, we couldn't put the episode out because I've made so many derogatory comments, and I've shown no mercy to other comics who've had shitty booties, and
it comes up a lot. We've really planted the flag.
Yeah, we've really taken a stance on this one.
And it's on the side of clean draws. Okay,
yeah,
we don't do that dirty booty shit over here at Buckets of Duckets.
Nope.
And so we can't shit live on the podcast. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
What kind of asshole would I be if I shit on the podcast after to make it? Nah, man, come on.
I've called out childhood friends by name on here.
By name
about their dirty booties. I've called out other comedians about their dirty booties on here. I protected his name, but I still talked about it.
And for you motherfuckers that listen and don't watch, every time we name somebody's name on here, if you're watching, you see a graphic pop up and it's their driver's license picture
and
with
their social security number,
and their phone number, and their credit score. Yeah. But you listening motherfuckers don't know that. All you hear is audio. You whiny bitches. Why don't you watch YouTube? Tune in.
That's how we try. That also sounds like we're 80 years old. Don't change that dial, okay? Because
stay tuned.
We try to teach you how to get a Rolex. All right, people. We putting our friends with the best credit score. We put
get your big boy britches on and watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, get rich. I'm just saying.
Between the britches thing and all the 60-year-old references I've made today, this podcast is going to be sponsored by Metamucil. See, there's one right there. You even know what Metamucil is? No, you don't, you youth-riddled fuck. You don't know.
Riddled with youth. Youth-riddled fuck. It's just all inside of you. Have you ever had a candy? So Brad Upton that I was just talking about at Spokane Comedy Club, like I said, he's in his 60s, and Spokane Comedy Club has like a wall of candy. It's just in the green room. You can just eat all the candy, take all. It's everything you want. It's full. There's Snickers and Kit Kats and
Skittles.
Skittles, and there's stringy gummy stuff. There's all kind of whatever you want. And they had Brad started telling. They had this old ass candy there called Neckos, Neccos. You know about
Necco
that?
wafers, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, Necco. Okay, Necco wafers. Okay. Yeah. It's like a military thing way back in the day.
Shit.
Yeah, there was like that's what they fed the soldiers in World War II or some shit. Yeah.
It's a Tums.
And so Brad starts telling us, his old ass starts telling us how this is a great candy and it's got history and all this stuff. And it's a good candy. We're just all, we just calling him Boomer and shut your old ass up and stuff. And
okay, Karen. Did you say that?
Yeah, we're doing that. He's playing his role. We're playing our role. We all know the beats. Yeah, and so, old man's talking, do jack off motions, and look at your friends. And
he calls you a youth riddled fuck. We
we all know what's coming. It's fucking that train is never late. So, he gives us this whole rundown about it, and then he, that's what you do after you do that club. You take as much candy as you want with you.
Fuck yeah.
And you grab, whatever. And he fucking chipped a tooth on one of them things, bro.
After talking some shit about how good they are?
About how great they were. Took a tooth from him. Just no respect. After all Brad did. I have never heard anybody talk about
that tooth has survived 60-something years in his mouth.
God
damn.
That tooth talked to Joan Rivers. That tooth was in a mouth that spoke to Joan Rivers a lot. That tooth has seen some shit.
You should be embarrassed for yourself, Necco wafers.
And Brad's over here singing the praises of Necco wafers. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I had to look up how to say it before I brought it up, and I still did it with shrugs. I had no confidence, and it took a tooth from a great man, from a man with 12 million views on his special on Dry Bar. Okay, took that tooth. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
This is my pet rattlesnake.
Necco.
He's not gonna. He bites people. He won't bite me though. Look, I can mess with Necco, man. Your last fan, you took him. God damn. That's really funny though.
Isn't that crazy?
That's really funny. Did you hear about the Afian Crockett thing?
I saw the video. Like sometimes you'll see the video 20 times, but you never actually click on it to see what happened. So I know by visual what happened, but I didn't actually hear what the lady was upset about or anything. For those of you who don't know, Afian Crockett from Wildin' Out and other shit. He was
shit.
He was doing
Wildin' Out.
Yeah. He was doing. What do you know him from? Just being
Mad
Afian
TV,
Crockett.
Right? When he
I thought that too. I was talking with somebody the other day, and I was saying I thought he was on Mad TV, but he was definitely on Wildin' Out. Yeah. I thought Mad TV too. So the two of us would go down.
All right. Yeah, all right.
We'll go down together. I thought the same thing.
Buckets of Duckets.
Yeah. I'll throw a ducket right at your fucking head if you got a problem with it. I like that that's the idea for the Duckets. I know that you're like, we can use it for promotion, but really it's for violence. I know.
For sure. It always is.
It's so that whenever we hurt people, we can actually have like a stamp put on it. We can have, we could fucking throw Duckets.
Next week I'm going to have Buckets of Duckets brass knuckles.
Brass knuckles, right? Yeah. Another sidebar. Whenever I worked at that smoke shop that I was talking about at the beginning, we sold brass knuckles.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we sold brass knuckles, but it's illegal to sell brass knuckles or to call them that. Like, how smoke shops have all the, water pipe. You can't call it a bong, the whole thing. Same rules go for brass knuckles for whatever reason. So we had to call it a paperweight. So people would go in and go, I need to, do you need to weigh down some paper? Is that what you need, sir? I can show you right here. Yeah. Why don't you hold this heavy bitch right here? It says fuck across it, and it weighs 40 pounds. I believe.
If you want to make some paper very bloody while you're being held down. I got thrown out of the raw shop out here because I told them bong. Like I was coming in to buy like I had like $400. Like I want a real fucking thing. And the guy's like, oh, you can't say that. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And there's literally not another person in the store. Nobody in the parking lot, nothing. I was like, well, I want to give you hundreds of dollars for a piece of glass. Can you do that? And the guy was like, no, you got to go. And I was like, all right. So I walked outside and I waited 5 seconds and I walked back in and I bought the water pipe. I thought when I walked out, fuck this dude, I'm going to take my money elsewhere. Well, I live in Louisiana, so there is no elsewhere. Unless I stop at a gas station that also sells knives. Like that's, you can get your pipes at a couple,
Man,
I just stopped talking. You can get your.
Well, also, I took like 2 sidebars off of the point that I was trying to make, and I don't know how to get back. I don't remember.
Afian Crockett.
Afian Crockett is what I was trying to tell the people that laid it out there. So he's on stage, and he says something that some lady gets upset about, and she walks on stage. That's what I know.
This white lady was offended by him telling sex stories because she's married, is what she said. And this lady straight up just walks on stage and then.
So you actually watched it?
Oh, yeah, several times.
Yeah, okay.
Several times because you know how I like to see uncomfortable situations?
I know, yeah, it's right up your alley, of course. Of course you watched it the second it was out.
This lady walks onto the stage, but she walks onto the stage and is A manager runs up to stop her. There's other people yelling at her, and she just crosses her hands in front of herself and stands there and says, "No, I just want to talk to him." And that's how you know that she was going to be worse than anyone, is that she's willing to patiently stand on the stage with her hands crossed and get booed. And she was offended because he was telling sex stories and she's married. And that was the whole thing.
What a fucking psychopath, dude. First off, to think that you can go on stage and then just stop a performance.
That's fucking crazy to me.
Like, that you can just stop. God, I don't like this, so I'm going to stop. Like, if a movie's going on, you go up to the top, fucking make the dude stop playing it. A play's happening, you just run on stage.
And completely oblivious or doesn't care. Everybody in there is yelling at her to get down and shut up. And she doesn't care at all because...
I seen the body language. Yeah, like I saw, because I didn't listen to... I could see that she's not bothered by it. Like, she thinks she's right. Like, she doesn't, like, there's no I'm wrong in this situation. It's I'm the one person that's right, and there's 200 wrong people in here. Why are all these wrong people?
And here's how you know I watch wrestling.
Did he not know I would be here and be here married? How did he not know?
Did he not know married people are here when he's telling jokes about his life? Which was his point. He's like, how does my life offend you? So you're saying my life is offensive to you? And she's like, nah. Yeah, and then it got, you know. And then she's like,
yeah, because you can't out-talk a comic, by the way. Like,
yeah,
like,
you're never
going to
win that. Thing. But I also have so much pro wrestling in me that when I saw her on the stage, I was like, oh, you run up and put your boot in the middle of that bitch's chest and just send her to the fourth row. That's what you do. If anybody,
I can fix this.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we even talking about here? Yo, you put her in this little area right here, right in between your eye. You fucking DDT her to nothingness. You just drop back.
You take your shirt off, run full speed, and spine buster that bitch. You scoop her up like this, turn around, and you spine buster when you stand
Slam
up.
Slam her right on the ground.
Fingers. I don't understand what the problem is. In wrestling, if somebody runs into the ring, every wrestler gets like overjoyed because they will beat the dog shit out of you if you run into the ring.
Yeah, if you're a fan and you run into the ring, you get the shit kicked out of you. Like wrestlers,
they're gonna beat the shit out of you.
They have permission to beat the dog shit out of them. Or at least they think they do, because they definitely...
God gave it to them. God gave it to them.
That's what I always wonder. Whenever I watch those, whenever I see fucking Scott Hall, like, just fucking curb stomping a dude and putting his knee in his... I'm like, I don't know if you're protected by law right now.
I mean, in the, like, 70s and 80s, people would run the rings and, like, stab wrestlers because they believe it so much. So I think they still carry that. This 8-year-old kid might have a fucking knife. Kick the shit out of him, everybody. LOD, beat the shit out of this kid. There's a really good one where Stone Cold's laying in the ring and some dude runs into the ring.
Triple H one?
And Triple H just jumps up, who's supposed to be unconscious after Stunner, jumps up and just, I almost said mollywop. Jumps up and mollywops this bitch.
From Grandma's house.
From Grandma's house. Knocked him right out his britches.
He did that. Them britches flew. Them britches was gone.
But you're right. I don't know if they've ever actually, like, I don't know if they can or not. They do. I don't know if they've just decided, we're doing it.
The reason why I say that is because in NFL games,
that's really funny.
When somebody runs on the field in NFL games, the players are like, don't fucking touch it. They all stand back and security just comes gets them. But in wrestling, nah, bro. it's time to get busy. Yo, this dude came in the ring.
That's all right. Yeah. So that was when I saw her on the stage. I was like, "Oh, you just put your foot in that bitch's chest and keep going. That's how this ends. There's no problem there.
You're in the right on that. Yeah, you got the right away."
Like, oh, I guess you got to talk. I guess you can't. Just...
I guess this is one of them talking situation. I thought you could just stun her, but okay.
Whatever.
But did you even try stunning though? Like, did you?
I agree with what you did, but I just wanted. Did you even try at all?
Just, give it a shot.
Did you even take your shirt off?
I
No. Oh, when I tell the dog shit story on stage, I tell the part about taking my shirt off and charging as my go-to move. Like, that's the passing point of the joke. And it has not been the passing point of the joke for any person that's heard it. Everybody's like, wait, you what? And I'm like, yeah, I take my shirt off and I just run full speed at people. It's very effective. I don't see how I can go wrong. Everybody's like, no, back up to that part.
You should, you like for real. You should dive into that. You should take a moment and talk about, I take my shirt off. To go through the whole like what that person can't even process. You running at them with your shirt. Like you should like take that moment. You've never been more scared than seeing this meat castle run at you full speed. Like that's there's a lot in that.
Oh, I didn't realize that. You know how you tell it, and then you tell it, and you tell it, and you tell it, and you feel out where it goes. I didn't think that would be a part, because we talk about it so much that in my head, that's what people do. So yeah, I'm about to get a fight. I take my shirt off, charging full speed. Right. Yeah, I'm 40. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Like that's all normal. And so I've tried to build out on it a little bit more, but
yeah, you could take like literally like you could probably do like 2 minutes on just that.
I've had to move it from the beginning to more in the middle because it gets a good. If it's at the beginning, this is boring the shit out of everybody. It got a good
people
laugh
like
to
to
the
hear
point.
comedy. Yeah,
it got a good laugh to the point where I had to move that part to the. It's a reveal instead of the opening of the joke. It's a reveal that I took my shirt off and ran and talked about it. But I'm having a lot of fun building a new bit on that, and it's so funny that I'm so accustomed to us talking about that the first couple of times I told it on stage, I didn't expect, like, that's just a given. You take your shirt off, you charge people. That's what happens. And everybody's like, what? And then I realized the whole crowd is picturing it in their head, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? I mean, unless you have a gun, then it's probably different then.
I mean, that's the risk you take. That's the risk you take, bro.
Not me. It ain't a risk for me. I'm bulletproof.
Oh, yeah.
My skin has been hardened under the God love of country. That's God love and country. Made my skin bulletproof. Patriotism is the armor I wear every day. Every day that I wake up.
Man, what I've been doing wrong? Because like I still get shot by bullets.
You gotta bathe in the fire that is America, and you gotta wake up every day, and you gotta where we go one. You gotta go. That's what they say.
Where we go one, a bunch of us will also go there too.
There's more there too. That's what they say.
Yeah, there's some people over there as well.
And then they say, "Uh-oh, you did a racism." Everybody says that one.
I'm pretty sure that's the vernacular they're using. Man, I hate those dummies. Yeah. They're the worst.
Holy shit. That's yeah. You want to get
That's
out?
it.
That's it.
That's it. You got enough. Guys, that's enough.
People that are listening to this. See, you don't even know what just fucking happened.
You don't even know.
You don't even know. You think it was just silence? Come on, dude. There's no way we would just have a whole bunch of dead air on this, on the Buckets of Duckets. Anything you know about us. God damn.
BucketsofDuckets.com. We'll see you next week. Podcast people eat a dick, I guess.
Eat a big, sloppy, hard, wet dick.
Look, if you don't give us 5-star reviews, this turns, okay? Now we don't even care about you. It's about YouTube now.
I don't want you to listen. Turn it off and put it on YouTube.
Oh, my podcast has 0 streams. That's what my podcast has.
That's what makes my dick wet. 0 streams.
0. I don't need nobody. I don't need one listener.
Or you can do
it
7.
on my own.
You can do 7. The Croatian sensation.
Okay. Bye.